you a lot of information, okay? This right here is our starter, obviously. Starter is not used on the rake, only eave, okay? I'm going to treat this as if I'm at the eave working my way up to the ridge. Okay. Make sense? This starter has obviously multiple colors, and the reason why is we have different products. We have one product that's, anybody got a pen or marker on them by chance? We have a scallop one with dog ears, where it'll end up, it'll go like it actually goes like this. And the reason, and then you got the other shingle that goes like this. So you got this little void right here. Well, these are to line up with those voids, okay? Which you're not doing that product today. I can show you a picture of it. It's called Designer Slave Stay Series, but you would line those triangles going up, you know, every other, okay? So this would be covered because there'd be a shingle, this would color be here, and then it would be like, you know, being open so it matches in. Make sense? So if you get that product, you're going to line that up. If you don't get that product, you can just use as far as the black. See how there's a black right here? The black lines up just perfect. It sounds really, really, really anal, but again, you never know which type of homeowner that you're working with, and or you may end up having something that's really vertical, and what you don't want is something vertical, and then, for instance, you're installing this shingle here, and you install that color showing. Okay, so that's my little 2 cents for it. These products, the wood shake, it's obviously the keyways don't have it, so it doesn't make a bit of difference. One thing that I'm going to share with you guys is completely different than asphalt shingles. Most guys will take you guys shingles like this, and you typically cut it here and you pull it through like this, right? You don't want to do that. At least that's what I see with most crews. They'll cut here and then they pull the shingle through. You don't want to do that with this because of the adhesive. What you want to do is you want to cut it at least 3 ways like this. You bring the shingle out like that, okay? The reason why is because when you take the shingles, and you guys are different type of crews. Some crews are just, you know, they always got some guy feeding them. The guy that's feeding them, what I want you to do is pull the shingle like this. You can't pull it this way, and then the other one comes this way. See how that just snaps? If you basically try to pull it through, and you guys feel the sealant on the backside, it'll stick. It'll never get it through. Okay, so this is my own little tidbit that I came up with that just makes it a little bit easier, okay? So this shingle is the same size, same width as this starter, okay? So if you're going to start this, what I would recommend that you do is you start with this as far as the black, okay? One of the things that you don't want to do is start with the starter here and the shingle here, right? Because now you got to see. So you're going to want to basically cut it over. What I would typically do is just like this with the starter, move that aside. I would want you to start with the black end, which here's the black one right here. So I would basically put this black right here with this one, line it all the way up. First off, the starter, before I go to start it, what I want to do is like, okay, well, this is where it's going to be. This black will be lined up with here, so all these keyways are going to have a black. Does that make sense? Yep. It sounds confusing in the beginning, but you do it. Starter has to have 6 nails, okay? You're going to go a knuckle hang over, just like asphalt shingles, nothing different. I want 6 nails, I want 1 nail over here, and then you can pretty much put them at the color that you know you're not going to use. Boom, 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 all the way across, get it all the way down as far as this corner here. This part here, so what you're going to do is you're going to cut this. Really easy cuts, right guys? You're going to take this next piece of starter. You're going to say keep the colors consistent. See how that kind of continues all the way across? How many nails did I put in the starter? And then you put it down close. I don't want the nails up here. I want them down here. The reason why? This will basically start bending up. So nails down low. You got your ice and water shield on. This comes down. And now as far as this full shingle, you're going to take the shingle, you're going to come back, and you're going to put the shingle right here in place. Here's your nail zone, guys. This is your nail strip right here. So anybody says, you know, the asphalt guys say, oh, they got the biggest nail zone. No, this is it, okay? The biggest problem about this shingle is going to be this in the next 2 days that you install it. Your air compressor. Turn your air compressor as high as you can go, okay? The more guns you put on it, the less air, right? And then what will happen is this nail zone is very, very, very rigid. I want you to push those nails all the way down through. You're going to do 6 nails in this nail zone. It shows you there's little X's right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. The other 2 are going to go anywhere next to one of these keyways, okay? Good so far? Take the next shingle, you're going to lay it basically right here, and you're going to do the same thing. 6 more nails. Boom, 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 all the way across, right? This is going to actually seal. If I can push this right here, it'll be sealed to it right now, okay? So you're going to go your 6 nails going all the way across it. When you get all the way down on this end over here, my advice to you guys, let's say you had a bunch of waste here. Let's just say you were here. Okay, and you cut this, take this piece, flip it upside down. Don't leave it on the felt, because what's going to happen, that sealant, it's going to touch that felt, it's going to tear it next time you go to pull it up. So your remnants, you cut it, flip it upside down. Then what you can then do is take this remnant, you take it to the other side of the roof. On the opposite side, it'll work just fine. It'll basically take your waste and it'll shrink your waste right down. Make sense? You guys will do that with shingles already? Okay, just want to make sure I cover every little nit and granny. So we're kind of good with this. 6 nails going all the way across. One of the things that you guys are going to see now on these shingles is his names.
We should have given him a knee.
1, right here, 1,
knee
2,
pads.
and 3. Okay? So the one thing about this shingle that's a little different than asphalt shingles, asphalt you can go a half tab, right? This has got to be a tab and a half. You can go to either tab and a half to the right or tab and a half to the left. Make sense? So when you're starting the next course, and there's an installation guide for it, we've printed the installation guide, so one, it's very black and white for somebody that can't get creative, but then I'm hoping in meeting you guys and spending time, you guys can get creative. The non-creative way of following the installation guide is you would take this line in here and you'd line it up with the number 1 and put it right through here, okay? And then you would take the next one and you go across down through here. What you do not want to do with this shingle, again, this is my aesthetics. It's not wrong if you forget it, but what you don't want to do is exactly in the middle and the half, okay? And the reason why is it would give it a brick lay. Do you guys know, like, have you ever heard the term half bond or brick lay? When you look at a brick building, you got a full piece, and right in the middle is the line, right? Well, that gives it a very symmetrical look, right? Wood shake typically and naturally is made in different widths. So what I do is, what I want you to do is use these different numbers to move the shingles back and forth so it looks like it's actually multiple widths. So the first one I would do is like number 1, and then you continue all the way through. The next course you're going to do, as far as what I would do, is I would probably come back and do a number 3, okay? And so what I'm doing, you can see how these key lays are all going to lay in different manners. Okay, are you guys following me on that?
Yep.
Okay, I just want to make sure I'm not going ahead and you understand it. And then, you know, as far as the next one after that, I would probably come back and I would do a number 2. The whole reason why the numbers 1, 2, and 3 are on this and this and this is because why? You do a tab and a half to the left or tab and a half to the right, okay? That's the very most black and white way of doing it, okay? How I would do it, and I'm sure how Steven's going to want you to do it, is get creative. See where it says the 1, 2, and 3? You can move maybe a ½ inch to the right of the 1, or a ½ inch to the right of the 2, 3, or right in the middle. It does not have to be exact. It does not have to be exact. In fact, the more you kind of make it random a little bit this way, when it gets done in the installation, none of these are going to look, it's going to look much more natural.
And I'm going to be checking.
Guys,
I did a lot of cedar shakes too in my day.
I offered him, you know, to go down the street and have a pop, but I knew he'd want to listen to this. So, you know, again, this one I just started a little bit farther over the 1. This one I might chart a little bit farther over in the 3. And what that does is now it's just making it more random. You do not want this to look symmetrical because real wood shakes are not symmetrical, okay? So that's the only big thing. So you go 1, 3, 2, or whatever you want. You'll figure out your own pattern that you want. There is no right or wrong, okay? And doing it. The only thing that would be wrong is if you did a half tap, okay? So you keep working. I mean, you can go left or right, whichever way you want to do. This next one up here, you're going to probably do somewhere in the neighborhood of a 2, and you're going to line these up. Where most guys get wrong, and I'm going to just share the good, bad, and the ugly, is when they go to do this and they're in a hurry and they go like that. Okay? What happens is you create a point load. This part will not sit, the next tab will not sit down. If you end up accidentally cutting it, or I'm sorry, accidentally nailing this one on top of that, you can see what I'm doing, right? You would end up just taking your knife and just cutting it over here, okay? Real simple. But in this case, you're going to be here, you're fine. Just do not have a point load. These shingles are made with virgin material. So they are they've never had a life. They're born flat. They want to stay flat. If there's any reason for one of these tabs to sit upward, that means there's something underneath it. Debris. You're not using plastic caps, so that's not an issue. The decking could be uneven. But the biggest one reason what happens or why the tab doesn't stay flat is a nail head. Again, the compressor wasn't turned up high enough. You can see right here, there's your right nail, there's your wrong nail. That will create a point load. The best thing for you to do, and I'm going to say this into the camera, is that the best thing you do is when you're done at night, when you're before the sun goes down, you look at these shingles, you have one guy on the ground, and walk around and say, that one there, and you go over and you see what's holding it up. There's always something underneath it. Okay, it wants to be flat. And you would rather, at the end of the night, make sure it's sealed and it's laying flat than waiting a couple days and Steven calls you back and says, hey, I got 5 tabs sticking up, and then you go and find out that your nail wasn't all the way down. So at the end of the night, you look up, have some guy look at, because when you're standing on this, you're not going to see it, okay? Next thing about this particular product that you guys can see is that this product self-heals. So if you're up there and all of a sudden, for some reason, you know, if I got guys that roof with cowboy boots, believe it or not. If you scuff this, you drop your nail gun on this, grab a little bit of a heat gun or a hair dryer, put some heat on it, it'll go right away. Okay? It's pretty cool. On the rake heads, we had talked about, you're going to have T-metal. Everybody talked about that. You have your underlayment on top. The T-metal is going to go. T-metal is going to stick upward, 5/8 of an inch. And what that's going to do, guys, is protect as far as this edge from seeing this area cut. On this knife, guys, I'm going to show you something, how easy this is. So basically, you could just, what I want, see how easy I just did that? I didn't do it real hard. Score it, break it. Really, really, really easy. Again, it's clean. There's no granules. I don't need you to sit there and do it really, really hard. Just take your time and pull it down, and then basically cut it and snap it. Flip your remnant over, start your next piece. Okay? The other thing, you can see how this sticks, right? Yep. It goes. The other thing that you can always do is you can use this right here as a straight edge. Okay, let's just say you're doing a valley. You just, you cut your piece like you typically do. Come through here. Boom, there you go, okay?
Wow. Simple.
No, but that gives it that, and what I want, and we've talked about this so everybody hears me here. On the valley, you're doing a W metal, a brown. I want this cut about 1/8 of an inch from that rib, if not touching the rib, okay? We're not going to do an open valley, which is nice because it's going to close and it's going to look clean. The rib is the most structural supportive, the hardest part of the metal, so it's not going to get damaged by hail, but that'll give it a closure. On the T-metal, it's the same thing. If you're working over here on this T-metal, what I don't want you to do is, I don't want that pushing on the T-metal, because now it's going to cause the T-metal to wave, right? Give yourself about 1/8 of an inch. Same thing here, you're just going to cut it, boom, and you're done, you know, right along the T-metal, there you go. On the valley here, if this was the valley, I would then just do your little dog ears. I'm sure you guys do that too, right? So if this was a valley metal coming down, you just give this little notch here. That way, as far as if any water did get underneath, it's just a standard good roofing practice with asphalt shingles too. Okay, just a little bit of a cut as that water. So if water got there, it allows it to push this way rather than hit that corner. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So, boom, boom, boom. We talked about the valleys, talked about the T-metal, talked about the nailing.
Penetrations? Anything special?
Nothing different on the penetrations. We got any head walls or beauty courses that we're going to do in this. If you had a beauty course, guys, this is what I would do. Okay, which I don't see one here, but I would just go like this. Myself, let's just go like this. Cut it. So you got a head wall, right? I would go like this myself, just to kind of give it a beauty course. That way you don't have any exposed fasteners. So if we were coming to the top of, this is the head wall up here. Let's say this is a head wall right there. You can just go like that. You know, put your nail, boom, boom. This is going to seal down. Take that sealant that you have, quad, cover that in exposed nail. They give it a really nice look rather than looking up at a head wall as having a big head wall flashing. But your penetrations, such as your pipe jacks, do it the same way as asphalt. Your vents, same way as asphalt. As far as your hip and ridge. Would you hand me those, Stephen?
Can you tell them too about the quad and not using geocell in case they got geocell in the trailer and they run out?
Don't use geocell. You need quad. It will not stick to this product. Okay. So quad sold at Menards, Home Depot, Lowe's, all over. Quad comes in brown, black, gray. Use the quad. It's same thing for you for some reason, Stephen. Something happens. Let's just say
no tar.
Let's just say you decide to have a skylight put in. You have to use quad. Okay. If all of a sudden you had to do a solar, you have to use quad. If all of a sudden, for some reason, something happened, I don't know what, but one of the shingles broke, you need to use quad. Okay. Okay. The hip and ridge, guys. This is the hip and ridge. It basically says right here, it says nail here, nail here. We made it where it's pretty cool. On the back side of it, you see these angles. So if you have a hip, like coming up, this gives it closure. So you can cut, I don't want to cut these because I don't know how close you order them, But you just cut this piece and that'll end up giving it closure. It's almost kind of like a hip starter for tile, okay? So you figure out your angle, you cut it, it sticks down, you do 2 nails. These are 1.25 inches. This is 1.5 inches on the hip and ridge. One thing I want you to do, if you're going to pop a line for your hip so the line's straight, right? Don't use red chalk. I want you to use blue chalk. If you're going to pop any lines as far as horizontal lines and make sure you're coursing straight, you can use red chalk, but we prefer blue. The reason why is just red's going to just look, it'll just stay up there longer, okay? I'm glad you said that.
Well, we use that light orange stuff. It's not permanent either.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Good for it. So you're going to take this, as you can see, it's formed in the box at a 6/12 pitch. One of the things that's different about this particular hip and ridge than asphalt shingles is the sealant on the back side. You're going to take this, you're going to lay it in place, you go nail, nail, then what you need to do is push. You got to push these corners to activate it. That's one of the things that's different than the asphalt. Take your next piece, as you can see there's a lip here, it gives it closure. You're going to line them up, boom, boom, and then you're going to push. Push, and then you'll see. So you imagine right now it's 65, 70 degrees. A little bit of heat, and now it's sealed. Okay, that leads to the next question. Steven, for you as well, if you ever needed to come and fix something, okay? Let's just say, hypothetically, you come across a roof, and in the valley there's a pipe jack, and you want to move the pipe jack over the vent. The only way, once these shingles are sealed, to get them apart is a heat gun. So you're going to go to Home Depot, and you're going to buy a $30 heat gun, DeWalt, and you're going to plug it in, and what you're going to basically do is you're going to sit here and you're going to warm these up. You just warm them up, warm them up, warm them up. And finally, you're going to go get your pro bar, like a thin bar, and then you're going to pull it up. But you've got to break that seal. And the only way you're going to break that seal is with heat. Okay? And it's the same thing, too. If all of a sudden something went wrong, and you go back there, and you had a loose tab, you're going to go out there, and you're going to put a dab of sealant, and you're going to push it down, and you're going to try to reactivate that with as far as a heat gun. Cool? One of the things that you guys got to understand too, and I just want to make sure you understand, when these are stacked, they're intentional. See the sealant that's used on this is a proprietary sealant. It's extremely aggressive. As you can see, guys, and again, I'm not saying anything stupid. I just want to make sure this seal here, that stays. Do not tear it off. This bottom piece should not have any sealant on the bottom or where. See how it just comes off from the wrapper? So it comes off really simple. But this stays. When you do the shingles, it's just like, you know, every one of them, as you know, you can see, they're stacked every other like this. That way, this sealant, my sealant won't stick to that. So that's the reason why when you stack them, like if you have extra, and where you see them coming out of here, they're every other. Okay? That's basically about it. The thing is, what's great about starting this first job with this is that there's no right or wrong on the 1, the 2, or 3 numbers. With the designer slate product, the other one that looks like asphalt, shingles, or tile, there's an alignment mark. There's only a number 2, and it goes like this. And those need to be aligned. And the reason why, because that's just opposite than this, and that is like when you go to a national cemetery and you see all the tombstones, and they're like straight this way and straight this way and straight this way. Well, the other product, we have only one alignment tab on it, both horizontal and vertical, to make it really fast for you, and you just line it up on that alignment tab. But with this one, we want it random back and forth, so all these different sizes are all different things. Everybody owes me a question, otherwise I won't leave. What do you guys got? Come on, more questions. What's cool about it, guys, is you're not going to go through as many blades, hook blades, because it's not granule, right? I showed you as far as the beauty course and how to do it. I mean, you can take this, guys, and I'll show you. You guys could probably do much better than me, but you can actually do, if you got some snips, you can get really, you can cut. I mean, that's a circle, right? So you can get down in dirt. I mean, that's Jesus.
Very nice.
Okay. The only thing that, I mean, the only way to damage this is with a straight blade. I mean, you're not going to scuff it. You're not going to hurt it. It's extremely durable. One of the things is, as you can see, remember we were talking at lunch, on here, every shingle says right here, complies with UL 2218 and FM 4473. That means it complies with the steel ball test and also the ice ball test. This is the only product in the world or in the country that I'm aware of that can pass both tests and is listed as having passed both tests. Most hail-resistant product in the country.
Easily walkable up to like a 10, 12.
All day long. What happens is on the hotter days, and like Steve was saying, this is 8 degrees cooler here than it is in St. Cloud. What happens is when it heats up, it's almost kind of like one of those indoor rubber gymnasiums. It gets even grippier, which is great because on a hot day with asphalt shingles, you guys are probably worried about scuffing them.
Yeah.
No scuffs whatsoever. So you can, on a 10-12 pitch, you're going to love it because on a hot day you cause more damage than good, right? So it goes from there. So we talked about the sealant, we talked about the rag edge. I don't think there's anything else that I missed in talking to you guys about. You guys love the fact that it's only 30 pounds a bundle.
Thought it was 20.
No, 30.
These ones.
30 pounds. All bundles are 30. It's actually like 31 or 32 pounds per bundle.
Oh.
But there's 6 bundles that equal a square. And what's cool about it too is like these shingles. I mean, like you could take asphalt. I mean, you could hold. That's a pretty solid thing. Where an asphalt would just flip over, right? So, but that's as far as the undercarriage of it, how it's manufactured. Hard part now is me trying to get up off my knees.
I can't believe you were on those knees that long. Holy shit.
I appreciate
I'm taking this video for educational purposes.
What? Yeah.
Pretty straightforward though. I mean,
Yeah.
Turn your air gun up, guys.
It's almost like I'd like to be up there. Not.
Almost, right?
And I'm telling you,
I wish they came out with this when I was
blow
roofing.
through it. Whatever you do, when you're done,
Me
here,
too.
you're going to look and you're going to say,
God,
let's
I could have
have
sold
this.
the shit out of
It
this.
wants
Like
to lay
in,
flat. If it's not
down
flat,
in the
there's something
Jewish
go there.
section of...
What you can easily then do, because again, this product is extremely hail resistant. Take your 2x4, put it right here, nail it, just hammer it, just push, use something else instead of nailing into this to basically knock that plastic cap or whatever's underneath it. But if there's, for instance, if there's a, let's just say you cut this and this is sitting, here's a perfect example. If this is sitting underneath like that, you'll see, look, I mean, it looks like it's sealed, right? But you can see from here, if you look from here, it's not. And that right there will never seal. So that's because, again, you would need to just basically come up, pull this. Well, there it is. It's sitting there. But now, now it wants to seal. There's something underneath it that's causing it not to be flat. I'm going to get a lot of pictures. I'm going to be critiquing your work, and I'm going to be putting it all over social media. So you guys have to have a lot of pride. Good?
Yeah, these guys are the best.
I have no doubt.
The shingle.
Well, when I share this again, I don't know the next time I'm going to be back. I flew out here just for this. But let's just say you get another job and it's borderline as far as temperature. Take some of those shingles, lay them on the ground, not lay them, I mean, you lay them on the ground here, but lay them out on the roof so they get heat. When they're all stacked up like that, let's say your distributor loaded them up there and they've been up there for 4 days and they're condensed. Spread them out so they all get heat because they want heat, okay? I mean, that's just, just another, because the hotter it is, it's going to lay a lot better, okay?
And installation temperature minimum?
50 degrees and above, 6 nails per shingle. Okay? But you guys don't have, in all seriousness.
So this ain't a shingle to do in the wintertime, huh?
There is no shingle to do in the wintertime. The only thing to do in the wintertime would be either metal or concrete top.
Ice fishing and snowmobiling.
And I'm okay with that. You want to go ice fishing and snowmobiling, let me know, and I will fly back for that. but no, the idea of that, Stephen, is that, I mean, I want it right.
I know. Like new construction, if somebody was staked out a new construction, it'd be kind of tough in the middle because we do a lot of winter stuff.
Most roofers turn the blind eye, okay, and they'll say, "Oh, we can do it," but there's very few asphalt shingles that can be installed in certain temperatures, okay. So it's important. My thought is like, my biggest thing is I want this to be your last roof. I want it done right, and so it's just important to tell them as far as the rules. But I mean, you guys all know. I mean, this is the first roof in Minnesota, and you should be proud. You'll be excited. Any questions on the 1, 2, and 3? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Just don't have them lining up looking like a brick wall or a 3-tack. So the designer slates are lined up just like a 3-tack, and we give you alignment guides going up. If you guys decide to, it's the same thing as, I mean, you guys work with OC and you work with other products. I mean, you can line these up and figure out as far as what where you want to, your horizontal measurement going all the way up. If you want to do 6 shingles or 7 shingles or whatever you want to do going on.
What if What if they're coming across on a dormer and they got a valley and they got to match? They got to come in and match them together.
There's no. It's like tile. Get them perfectly straight.
So there's no cheating them down or anything like that?
Not really. No.
Okay.
It's a 6.1 exposure. Okay, so there's no. I would rather it have installed a 6.1 exposure than to be off. You know, from there.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the cool thing is, again, it's you look like wood shake. It'll be more random on it anyways.
Yep.
But we talked about the valleys. We should be good. Guys, I thank you very much.
Thank you.
Like I said, I had every pension you can ask Caleb. Being here at 9 this morning, helping you guys install shingles and everything, you know. So, didn't I?
Yeah.
I wanted to be part of this.
Just so these guys know, as well as the rest of us, what warranties are, so that if customers are ever asking them about this when they're up there, coming up and down and working on it.
Sure.
Just so they can talk to them as well.
So every company, every slope roofing manufacturer pretty much has a very similar warranty, and that is a 50-year warranty. Okay? We have a 50-year warranty. Ours is called the Weatherforce Advantage right here. Okay, so we offer a 50-year warranty that the product is going to be defective. If it becomes defective, we're going to replace it. Okay, with new material. We have, and again, they're similar. It's transferable one time, and it's also 50-year warranty, transferable.
Wind.
So the three things that is completely different about F-Life, so you know, is one, we have a hail warranty, which no other manufacturer in the country has a hail warranty. They may claim that the product is hail resistant. This is hail resistant, but we support it with a warranty. And that is, for the first 5 years after you install it, if this shingle was to get damaged by hail, and by a hailstone less than 2 inches, we will pay the labor and material to completely replace the whole roof. Labor and material, the whole caboodle. And we know that because, believe it or not, this product will withstand much larger hail. It would actually have to damage the sheeting underneath the shingle before it damages the shingle. Okay? So that's for 5 years. The second provisional is we have a wind warranty, 130 mile/hour winds, labor, and material. This particular product has been tested to 190 miles an hour. No problem. The third provisional is we have a non-fade warranty. Okay? And how we say this is everything in the world does fade. Okay? Paint on cars, everything. This will fade, but fade gradually. It's not going to fade. Today it's going to be brown. Next week it's going to be, or next year it's white. Everything will eventually lighten up. But for the first 15 years, there's a non-fade warranty. It will not fade labor and material. Which, again, I'm not familiar with any other asphalt shingle manufacturer that offers a non-fade warranty. So you're getting 3 warranties that are above and beyond what anybody else in the entire country would ever do. And that's because, as far as we believe in it. We've done age accelerating tests on this. Every manufacturer is required to do a 20-year age accelerating test. All of our products have been tested, age accelerating tests, for 30 years, which is exciting. So the hail on it for 5 years, believe it or not, the testing we found is that after 5 years it actually gets stronger. So it's all good stuff.
Cool.